Normally I would accompany this review with a bit of a prologue as I have the last couple of episodes, but this is so painful and it takes me so long to record these anyway. We're gonna jump right into the action, I guess you could call it. It's not really action, it's feelings and some violence against white guys, but we'll talk about that later in the show. So here it is, Batwoman, Season 3, Episode 11. Vesper Fairchild starts us out with a voiceover that's equal parts mind-numbing and idiotic concurrently, as it alludes to the fact that there's a reason why Jada chose to blow the whistle on Blackwoman, essentially blaming her for all the weapons being released back into the world. Over the comms, Luke calls Black Lives Matter woman and tells her that Gotham is flooding, and it's especially treacherous within the vicinity of the secret back alley abortion clinic that's no longer a secret, which happens to be exactly where an unrestrained Marquise pronounced Marcus because he's fucking stupid is being kept. And Luke even says, if the water wakes him up, why the fuck is he not being kept restrained if he's such a fucking risk? That's a question for the idiotic writers. Ryan and Mary, who I guess were ignoring the fact that she just fucking killed someone last week, show up at the clinic finding a creepy fucking clown doll with Marcus's voice recorded on it, and he threatens to hurt all of Batwoman's allies one by one.
I was a little frustrated. Batwoman, that's just a car. Somebody's watching this show. That like really annoyed me. Batwoman is still doing quite well. It doesn't even look like Batwoman.
Peter, I'm really starting to question why I'm even friends with you in the first place.
Mary and Ryan are still at the abortion clinic, and bad dialogue ensues. Mary is crying and blaming herself, and Ryan says, "You are Dr. Mary Hamilton, and you have saved so many lives." When? When has Mary actually saved any lives whatsoever? All she's done is act like an entitled bitch, a complete narcissist, and a psychopath. She killed somebody in cold blood. But please, Ryan, you stupid cow, tell us more about the Mary Hamilton and her heroic exploits that have made the city streets of Gotham a safer place where lesbians are safe to move around the city and scissor freely without fear. Mary and Ryan are still set on repairing the Joy Buzzer and using it to fix Marquise pronounced Marcus because he's fucking stupid, but from here on out, we'll simply refer to him as Black Joker. We find ourselves at where our Bat team is still trying to figure out how to stop Black Joker, and Luke says something to the effect of if he had his daddy's robot AI, he could, and asks Mary where it is, and she tells him she gave it to Black Joker the night of the party because she wanted to hurt Luke in the worst possible way. So as our team of idiots is collectively stumped, Alice enters, looking quite beautiful, and provides an avenue to pursue in the form of the Joy Buzzer's original creator, Kiki Roulette, who was Joker's toy maker. Of course, Luke finds her whereabouts easily, because the plot needs it to happen that way. So he tells them that she's at a halfway house. Sophie was actually useful here because she was able to use the fact that Kiki wore some very unique glasses to clue the team in on her location. As Ryan says she'll go talk to the toy maker, Mary tells her because of the nature of the request that it's probably better if a doctor were to go and meet this crazy woman, and Ryan agrees, knowing that Black Joker still thinks Mary is a baddie, and she sends Alice with her because Joker won't bother them. Ryan also tells Luke and Sophie to just lay low because Black Joker will be looking for them. Shit. Sophie follows Ryan upstairs and says, why don't we just tell Marcus I kissed you and you pushed me away? Then the lesbian drama is just like the tension. So thick you could cut it with a knife, Mean Gene.
The lesbian!
Sophie clearly wants to scissor Ryan because she's a massive fucking whore. And Ryan isn't ready because she wants to make Gotham a more diverse, save Gotham. So Luke enters and he says, sorry, am I interrupting? Ryan says, no, and Sophie says yes, and you say potato and I say potato. Luke tells them that Marcus is on every channel. Black Joker is giving a speech on the steps of Arkham Asylum, and he says, as CEO of Wayne Enterprises, he's partnered up with the city and will be pouring millions of dollars into the asylum, then threatens to dox Ryan, but doesn't. The whole sequence is fucking ridiculous, and Black Joker looks like a retarded Dollar General version of the Leto Joker, which is not the iteration of the character that you want to be made regarding your portrayal of an iconic character.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Sophie the massive whore and the rest of the idiots are discussing what Black Joker's ulterior motives are for not outing Ryan. And they discuss the murders he's committed and the fact that there's got to be some evidence out there linking Black Joker to the crimes. And Ryan suggests that Jada is probably hoarding it all somewhere and refers to the comments made by Jada a few episodes back that she had an agreement with Marcus that would keep her safe. Which, how often do deals with psychopaths actually work out? Especially in a city where 13% of the population is responsible for 52% of the... You know what? I was looking at the wrong notes and statistics. Black Joker is walking the halls with the administrator of Arkham, and he expresses some apprehension about Marcus's plan for a work release program. And of course, the writing and dynamic of the scene is supposed to be a commentary on the penal system in the United States as well as the mental health system. I'm sure Black Joker is told they aren't stray dogs, retorts that they're being treated as such. And he wants to meet the worst of the worst, which takes us to a cell where we reconnect with Season 2 villain Victor Zsasz, who's trying to do a Cape Fear in his cell, and we're all shown his scars, which we know represent individual contract kills, which is funny because he squandered every opportunity to kill Bitch Ma'am.
It is ma'am!
And then she beat his ass and locked him up. I swear, when the two of these fucktards were exchanging dialogue in Zaz's cell, I thought one of them was going to proposition the other one. Zsasz says, "Consider my body my resume," speaking of all his scars, and Black Joker remarks, "It looks like you're already collecting your pension." Zsasz says, "There's always room for a few more." And Joker tells him that's what he was hoping for.
So long, gay boys!
Outside of Kiki's house, Mary and Alice are in her car, and she has no idea how to deal with the fact she killed someone. Alice tells her the mechanism she uses to cope, which is basically suppressing it all, and Mary responds with, "I'm not a sociopath." And it obviously gets to Alice because she quickly exits the car and approaches the house that Kiki supposedly lives at. Alice and Mary talk to the lady that runs the establishment, and she tells them that Kiki left some time ago. And as they leave, Alice flips out her butterfly knife, puts it to the woman's throat, and says, "Crazy knows crazy, Kiki," who responds, "It's Kathleen now." Luke is planning to break into Wayne Enterprises and steal back his daddy computer. Sophie the massive whore wants to go, but Luke tells her that he isn't going to be responsible for anything happening to her because of how Ryan feels about her. And Luke puts her in charge of a piece of equipment, and you know she can go because she says, "Well, nobody else here was a member of Special Weapons and Tactical like I was." And it's funny because it seems like it's just to placate her need to do something aside from being a massive fucking whore.
Hey, that shit!
At the offices of strong, independent black woman who don't need no man industries, Ryan has paid a visit to mommy dearest Jada Jet and tells her that Marquise, pronounced Marcus because he's fucking stupid, hates Batwoman as much as you do. Jada blames Batwoman for Black Joker's mental state and says she's not worried about being a target due to the fact that her and her mentally retarded son have a quote-unquote deal. Ryan then calls out the misdeeds and mysterious deaths that can be attributed to Marquise, pronounced Marcus because he's fucking stupid, but from here on out we'll just refer to him as Black Joker. Like the death of his father, which we've already seen on video of him poisoning his dad with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and watching him die slowly on camera. So the existence of other murders on video is not too far-fetched for a series that permanently makes its home in the realm of far-fetchery. We know that Marquise, pronounced Marcus, murdered a security guard at Wayne Enterprises, and at least one scientist at Jeturian Industry. And the way they happened, there's a high probability they're both caught on surveillance camera. The fact that Jada is harboring this kind of evidence speaks to a larger issue that doesn't reflect on the characters as poorly as it does the writers. But then again, what else would we expect from a show written by activists for an audience who wouldn't know justice if it had its knee on their neck?
Okay, now, to be fair.
Jada squares up with Ryan, and Ryan tells her she needs to stop protecting Marcus because he's not going to let the tape stand in the way of his revenge. And they're interrupted by Jada's assistant, who tells her there's a man here to see her without an appointment. And he's promptly shot in the back and killed by Victor Zsasz. The assistant died and he wasn't white? Someone's getting fired for this. I can see Caroline Dries freaking out after Twitter goes nuts because a BIPOC was killed on the show and by a white serial contract killer. Also, wait! Zsasz says cheerfully,
Oh, hey, Ryan.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Jada is opening up her safe for Zsasz and retrieving the tapes that contain the footage of Marquise, pronounced Marcus because he's fucking stupid, but from here on out we'll refer to him as Black Joker, and Zsasz wrecks them. And he tells Ryan that he was going to get her a gift for becoming CEO, but given her disgraced circumstances, it seemed to be in poor taste. Jada tells Victor that Ryan is her daughter, and then he proceeds to monologue about Ryan and her collection of dead moms, and
yada, yada, yada.
he sets this watch timer for 1 hour and tells them that he left a note on the bat signal for Batwoman. And apparently being incarcerated means he's the only person in Gotham who doesn't know that Ryan is fucking Batwoman. And Black Joker apparently didn't bother telling him that little nugget of information, because then the rest of the story couldn't unfold the way it does. And in a brilliant piece of writing, Zsasz even comments on how the two stunning and brave women of color have beaten the patriarchy at the corporate game, or something stupid. Back at the halfway house, Kiki is telling Alice and Mary that she doesn't want to go back to being who she was, and Alice tells her to drop the act, but she still agrees to fix the buzzer for them. Boom! Jada tells Zsasz to just shoot her because Batwoman isn't coming, because there's bad blood between them, and we get an exposition dump of feelings instead of any action, and Ryan has her designs on how to stop Victor. Turns out that the $2 million that Jada paid to cover up the fact that Ryan was hers was kept by the evil doctor who performed the birthing and then dropped baby Ryan off at the fire station instead of placing her with a family. How much you want to bet that the doctor was a pale, stale, toxic white male? We're paying 2-to-1 odds with a solid over-under and an available parlay. Zsasz says thank you for allowing him to listen in on the content that he came for, but alas, time has run out and Batwoman is a no-show. Ryan then proceeds to throw a letter opener, stab Zsasz in the shoulder, and easily beat the hell out of him.
Oh, what the fuck ever?
And Jada says,
My God, that's why Batwoman didn't show up. She was here the whole time.
So Alice, Mary, and the chick who is married to Turk on Scrubs go to the Joker's old workshop or whatever, and it's oddly still equipped with a vast array of the real Jokers, props, not Black Joker. And Mary asks Kiki how you move on from doing the things you've done, and Kiki goes on and on about how you have to live with it, and
2 hours later.
you know what, nobody fucking cares, so let's literally move on. And the point I wanted to make at the end of this was, they act like nobody would have found any of the Joker stuff in this warehouse. Like, it would just still be sitting there. Nobody would have broken in, nobody would have looked for it, you know, it's still all there. Perfect working order after God knows how long. This is how much sense the shit in this show really makes.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Cuckwing and the Massive Horror are breaking into Wayne Enterprises to steal Luke's computer daddy back, and Sophie immediately starts talking about Ryan again, and at this point, if they don't just make these bitches scissor, I'll fucking do it myself. Luke compliments Sophie on her landing as they rappel into the building. She says thanks, and then alludes to the fact that Ryan wouldn't have said anything, and the dialogue is completely fucking insufferable, because they're just basically foreshadowing for the fact that these two are going to...
Oh, we're scissoring!
The whole heist scene in Wayne is permeated by conversation regarding how long Sophie has been into Ryan, and they stand in Black Joker's office, and Luke reactivates Daddy Computer, who's going to help him hack his laptop. As Victor Zsasz is being handcuffed by what looks like Jaturian security, that just sounds funny.
Jaturian security.
He tells Jada and Ryan that they got him right in the heart as he's escorted out the door, which leaves us with Ryan and Jada to have more feelings in painting Ryan as the unfortunate victim of this whole situation, and that's the way her entire run as Black Lives Matter woman has been. A state of perpetual victimhood with zero fucking accountability. That is a direct correlation to the writers of this show who wish they could live their real lives with that level of responsibility or accountability for their actions, and the fact that they paint every person of color in this show, be they good or evil, as a victim of systemic injustice or overt white racism. And not only is it wrong, but it's fucking ridiculously ignorant and Sophie the Massive Horror calls Ryan from Marquise, pronounced Marcus, because he's fucking retarded, but from here on out we'll just call him Black Joker's office, and tells her that Black Joker is using Arkham inmates as his own personal security force. And Luke tells her that Black Joker's also been in contact with Kiki Roulette, which leads us back to Alice, Mary, Kiki, and the Joy Buzzer. Kiki says the buzzer only has one jolt left, and then Kiki laughs and says she's not sure how much longer Marcus needs them alive anymore, and in come the goons and hold Alice and Mary at gunpoint.
Are you fucking high?
Sophie and Cuck are happened upon by Black Joker and his inmate security team, and in walks Marquise, pronounced Marcus because he's fucking retarded, but from here on out we'll just refer to him as Black Joker, and he says,
If I'd have known you'd be snooping, I'd have cleared my browsing history.
You out of your goddamn mind. Son of a...
and then proceeds to perform the worst Joker laugh I have ever fucking heard. Kiki's being questioned by Mary as they walk, as they're being escorted by the psychopath security force, and Kiki tells Mary that she did have Harleen Quinzel as a therapist, so they name drop that god-awful fucking character, and I would honestly love to see this show get a 4th season just so we could get a CW iteration of Harley Quinn, because that would be priceless. Black Joker thanks Kiki over the phone for returning the Joy Buzzer, and then Batwoman shows up and Kiki puts Ryan on the phone and she hits him in the ego, and he tells her that he has Cuck and Sophie. Batwoman, Alice, and Mary then proceed to beat up all the goons as Kiki runs away. And when the fuck did Mary learn how to throw hands competently enough to knock out a 250-pound psychopath? Oh, he's a white guy, so any untrained 100-pound female can easily defeat him. Got it. Luke and Sophie are having similar results, except for Black Joker and Kiki each managed to escape their individual situations unscathed. Of course, instead of focusing on what move the villains are going to make next, what target are they going to try to eliminate, what retribution will they seek, we get a rooftop scene with Ryan and Jada, and it's more feelings and...
So...
Luke is talking to AI Daddy Computer Suit, who says he's proud of him. And this is so funny. Like, Luke has no other friends, but the artificial intelligence of his father that he had to have Mary or Sophie got it back for him. And it's just, they make this character look so pathetic during the entire run of the show. Like, even when he's supposed to be acting heroic, he still comes off as just weak.
You've got to do better.
Marquise, pronounced Marcus because he's a fucking retard, but we'll just call him Black Joker for the rest of the video, is making his way around the warehouse where Joker kept all his toys, his toy factory as it were, and Kiki is waiting for him. And she holds up the Joy Buzzer and says, with one buzz left,
who's gonna get the last laugh?
My question is, who's gonna get flogged for writing this shit?
You're both pieces of shit. Yeah, I can prove it mathematically. Actually, let me grab my whiteboard.
Meanwhile, in the fucking sewer, which is kind of ironic as it serves as a wonderful metaphor for this show, which the show spends most of its time in the rating sewer, so why not spend a lot of time shooting on set pieces that are based in either the sewer drain pipes or this old abandoned train car. So Mary goes to the abandoned train car that we just mentioned to meet with Alice, and Mary tells her she's going to the wake for the hunter she killed. And Alice rambles on, and so does Mary, and at this point of the episode, really, like, it's going to take something really big to grab my attention, and this scene wasn't it. And she brings Alice a bag full of clothes and money because her immunity deal is gone. Alice says she doesn't want to be Alice anymore. She wants to use the Joy Buzzer to fix her brain and give Mary a sister.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Meanwhile, at the Legion...
Yes, we'll round out our evening at Lesbos with Ryan and Sophie, who walks in complaining as usual, and Ryan gives her a drink, probably laced with a little bit of Bill Cosby in it, and we get a discussion about feelings again. Ryan likes to keep people at arm's length, but you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we've kept you waiting long enough. We have definitely waiting for this one, because as much as I make fun of these two, these actresses are absolutely fucking gorgeous. So, let me call up my butler Jeeves, because I know he's ready. I know Eric Bischoff is at the ready. My only question is, folks out there watching, are you ready?
The lesbian!
So yeah, this is the payoff for watching this shitty episode 2 times this week and taking 4 hours to write the script for this. I figured the payoff is getting to see what would be akin to, you know, like softcore Cinemax and like, I don't know, the middle of the day. The funny part is when Sophie breaks that lamp, she's like, I'll buy you a new one. And I'm sitting back thinking, going like, you can't buy her a new lamp. You're technically still unemployed. But, I mean, it doesn't take away from the fact that the scene is really fucking hot. So, enjoy. So there it is, folks. Episode 11 of Batwoman. Broken Toys. It was a horrible episode. This was really boring. That was the thing. We had the horrible fight sequences, usually overly accommodating stuntmen putting over 100-pound women and making them look like $1 million in a fight, which all credit goes to the stuntman in that scene, you know what I mean? But no, overall, this was just another terrible episode. And yeah, let's take a look here at the ratings. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. You see it right in front of you. It's up 13.63%. in the audience. That's right, 542,000 souls tuned in to watch this. I DVR'd it and watched it the next day, but that is up 20% from the previous week, which is absolutely hilarious that this show will celebrate 542,000 viewers in its 3rd season. But you know what? It's the little victories that count, folks. So that's going to do it for me. Do all the YouTube things. Be sure you're subscribed. If you're not, please do subscribe. Like the video. Share it far and wide. Ding the bell for notifications. I'm Etepo Kuit of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. I'll catch you on the next one. And remember,